Welcome back to That Part, the podcast by 45 Lemons. I am Verta.
And I am not. Welcome, welcome.
And welcome, welcome. We're very excited. We're in the thick of season two. Well, 3 episodes in, if you want to call that the thick of it. Our made up season two. We're still learning, really committed to conversations that matter, and just bringing the same energy and the same heart that we've always brought.
And what we're doing this season is bringing forward some beautiful women in our lives that we love, that we appreciate, that we think are super special, all the things, right, Verta? And we asked them this question. If you were to be on a podcast, what would you talk about? And they had we got a lot of different things. And so we're selecting these different topics and bringing people on to discuss them.
Yeah, every answer has its own little story wrapped in it. We probably could go on with these, we're calling them the celebrities in our lives, for
Right.
probably like 15,000 seasons. We want to thank you all, our listeners, because some of your listeners are the people that are going to be answering those questions. But just it's really always so great to hear from you when you share topic ideas. You're kind of like growing with us real time. It feels really, really special. And also, what we don't do is too much prep. We want you to experience our real life reactions, like real time. And we want to have these conversations be real, just like you're sitting at the bar or in the
Not the
basement,
bar.
or why not at the bar? Why
I
would
mean, it
you?
can be at the bar. It's a
It
little
can be
loud
at the
at the
bar. Come on
bar.
now.
Yes, it can be at the bar.
Or
If
in Nas, like, basement that's all tricked out to be a
That's
bar.
right. That's right.
But we want you to feel like you're having everyday conversations with us and our friends. In so doing, we really still care a lot about systems, culture, identity, and how life shapes us. And so we just also wanted to say that everything that happens outside also shapes who you show up as, wherever it is that you find yourself working.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So today's topic is love after 50. And, we talk about being Gen X women from this generation. We've talked a little bit in our past episodes about whether it's grief in our last episode and how that impacts us. And I think even being over 50, you start to experience grief in more than one iteration, right? And we've talked about being a mother at this age or even over 40. And so today it's like reinvention after 50 and love after 50. And we're really excited about our very good friend who will be on. But before I go into that, I mean, tell me a little bit about, when Marquita brought up this topic, what kind of went through it for you?
Well, first, I don't love reinvention. I'm reimagining because I fit this demographic that we're talking about. So I don't even know if it's really about a reimagining for me,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. And I think there is some reinventing for some, for sure. But that was one of the things that I really thought about, and it's obviously very dear to me. I also thought about how after a certain age, whether it's 50, whether it's 40, it's usually up in those that people expect. I don't know, that's like you're supposed to shrink and become very
Mm,
practical about what is possible. Be grateful for these little scraps we might throw at you. Um, and in some ways, just like stop dreaming out loud. And I just think that that's like a big trick that they've played on us as women.
right.
And because we generally outlive men. And also, we're coming into so much at this time. So those are some
I
of the
mean,
things that I'm sure we're going to dig into.
yeah. I think you talk about shrinking after a certain age, and maybe some of it has to do with what in practicality, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe even the 80s, women had to do, and you're so in the thick of so many different things that you don't have the time. And I think we've come to an age where that's changed. People are finding love for the first time in many cases, or for the second time. People are,
700th time. Hey, look, I love a lover. Look, don't get me wrong. I love a romantic and I love a lover. So, hey, get it while you can get it. and as many times and ways that you need to.
We'll go with that 100 times. But it's also some redefinition of, what love can be. Um, and even in a committed relationship, you could be like redefining that, reimagining that. I will use your word because that is an important thing. And I think that is what happens over 50.
Yeah. I have been really interested in women on social media that are in this
Mm.
demographic as well, and it's been really exciting to follow them. Some are close to me, right? Like I have is it Blackberries and Bank? My friend Kim, who has this web page, which is just about her like finding her fashion. And there are some other
Okay.
fashion ones that I follow. There are also just women that are writers that I follow, and it's just been really kind of an exciting thing to look at. I mean, one because I kind of feel like I know them, even though I don't, because it's all on social media. It's like, oh, wow. But the key similarity is just how they're embracing this. Like, I'm using air quotes. People that are seeing it on YouTube can see that, but you might not hear that. This middle age, right?
Yeah,
On their own terms, in their own way.
right.
And there's this other one, Sit in the City. I like love her whole vibe and her whole page. And those are the things. And I think there's something about this level of audacity that it takes to kind of be in this place and in this space. I know you had like looked at some other stats and stuff. I don't know what your thoughts on that or what you want to throw out there.
I mean, we can throw out some of the stats, but before that, just like what you were saying about women of this age, I remember my mom at this age.
So do
And
I.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she was vibrant, like, I mean,
Hmm.
she had a lot going on because she just had a lot going on with work
Hmm.
and having 4 kids. But I have always wanted to get older. I remember I've always been like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till I'm 40. I can't
Mm.
wait till I'm 50. And people think I'm crazy. I mean, I embrace every year because some people hate getting older. I love getting older. I think
You
it
know what I
comes with
say?
what's that?
Girl, if you're not having a birthday, then you're dead. Like, what are we talking about? I mean, and I'm saying, like, death is a part of life. I get it. Like, we all got to go. But if you're not celebrating those moments, then
You stop.
I'm saying it's true. What are we talking about?
I was thinking more that it comes
Oh,
with wisdom,
okay, sorry. Sorry.
embracing the wisdom that comes along with the age.
I
And
want you to do that as well. Yes.
I will, but you're right. If you're not celebrating, then there's something not,
But I do love that imagery though of remembering your mom at this age. And I think there are lots of I don't know, memories that we may hold of our parents and of our mothers, right? And they're like
yeah,
little things. And I think part of why I remember it so clearly is that in her 40s and 50s, I was in college. We were in college, right? So I kind of
yeah.
knew her at that part,
Oh, right. Yes, yes,
right?
yes. You would have
And
known of
then
course.
and then
Yeah,
as I was kind of starting in my career, and so I have these, like there are these vivid things I remember. I remember coming to my class when I was a teacher, and so I can remember her life at that time. And I
yeah.
think there was something about worked through that maybe she hadn't when we were younger, that
Mm,
I could see that happening for her as well. So
yeah,
it's really interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
The um the stats that I was going to throw out
Hmm.
were just a few things. It's like adults 55 plus are one of the fastest growing groups in entrepreneurship. And I mean we did
Yes.
it at 45 and plus.
45 lemons.
45 lemons. But you think about that
Mhm.
entrepreneurship and consulting and
Right. It's a reimagining that's happening, right? They're
exactly.
birthing new things. I love that.
And not just thinking that you have to be in this corporate career.
Yeah.
If that's where you've been most of your life and whatever that corporate looks like, it could be an organization, it could be a nonprofit, but
Hmm.
not having to stay in this place that they've put you.
Yeah.
Women over 50 increasingly launch second careers, businesses, creative projects, coaching practices. I think we're going to see that in almost every guest that we
Hmm.
bring on the show this season. Passion-driven work after corporate burnout or family-centered decades where you've taken care of your children
Hmm.
and you feel like they're launched or almost launched.
Yeah.
And so now you're ready to think about yourself. And
Hmm.
then I think the last stat around this was women remarrying in their 40s. It's 76% of women who divorce after 50 do not remarry or cohabit afterwards. And later
Hmm.
life relationships increasingly happen because people thrive companionship, cohabitation, and non-traditional arrangements rather than traditional marriage. So those are just some shifts that have happened for women over 50, probably in the last 10, 15 years. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I find them all fascinating. I think that I feel like I see them in the people around me, right? So I think
exactly.
like we are
Exactly.
these living examples of this, and I think
Right.
there's so much to be said about what society is offering or what we've decided that you're not offering it, society, so we're just going to make it ourselves, whatever these
Exactly.
things are. And even the one about like the whole not remarrying, like one of the things everyone may, many people that know me know there were two things that I had always said that I never wanted to do. One of them was get married, and one of them was have children. And I did both of those things. Now, I remember some of why I didn't. On the first, the kids never. But I
By the way,
also
which means you love your kids and you are happy to have had them.
I am. I
Just
adore
let's
them.
just be
They're
clear.
the best thing I never wanted to do. That's what I say.
Yeah.
But that said, I think that this reimagining, reinventing is also a revisiting of some of our younger self as well.
Mhm.
So I want to just put that out there. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, I'll take that. I mean, I think that is, I never thought about it.
yeah. So
And in saying that,
mhm.
I think well, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, but it's your opinion. But I know I do think I do think you're right because I've always wanted to be, I think, an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
and I think back to
Same.
those early years, especially before children, where I was like, I would love to have my own business. I don't think I imagined or knew what it would look
Yeah.
like, but certainly, yeah. So it comes full circle because in between that, you forget
Because life is life in, because
because
we are
life
doing
is
all
life.
these things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well,
We're up on a break.
yep, that's what I thought.
Um,
Look at my internal clock. Look at Verta's internal clock. Clocking. We're up on a
we are
break.
up on our first break. And so we will see you on the other side.
All right. Welcome back to 45 Lemons. You can find and listen to us in all the places where you listen to your podcast. And we are 45 Lemons 45 or 45 spelled out lemons in all the places. So check us out, email us, do everything. And today we're joined by someone who wanted to talk about finding love and reinventing yourself after 50 because she knows those stories often run together. And we are welcoming to that part someone that we both love so much. I can't even contain myself. She is a powerhouse in heels, in sneakers, depending on the day. By day, she's an HR executive shaping workplaces and being a champion for people. And some of the stories that I've heard are just, she does amazing work. By night, she's a devoted mom to two brilliant humans. She balances balancing schedules, snacks, all that stuff, and we'll get into some of that. And she has a natural flair for decorating, style, and organizing. She doesn't just create systems; she creates spaces and experiences that feel good. And I always feel good when I am with Marquita. She's a servant at heart. She's a genuine lover of people. It's so true. She loves people, and her true superpower is kindness. And the kindness that makes you feel seen, it makes you feel heard, and just a little bit better after each interaction. We've known each other for most of our lives, for so much of our adult lives. Another person that I met like first day of college. She's also started a company called Neat Nest, and has a desire to be an adjunct professor. Hello, Marquita Daniels. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Hey now. Hey Verta.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
So, I mean, welcome, Marquita. When you sent us your bio, um, What I didn't know about you, which Verta didn't mention because I was like, no, I'm going to steal this part. I'm going to take this part, was that you founded Love in the Mail, and it's a nonprofit in honor of your mom. Can let's start. I usually start with a different question, but I kind of want to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my mom was a servant. She loved people. She never met a stranger. And the best story to tell about my mom is one day I was on the phone with her and she said, girl, I got to go. You know, it's teller day. I said, no. She said, so I'm gonna go make lunch for my bank tellers because I love them. And
Oh
she
my
went and
God.
made a whole like buffet for them and took it to them. And that's just who she was. And so when people see me do picking up strangers, like I've done some wild things for people. It's because it's just I genuinely love people. And during my grieving period, I had a very tough 2 years. I lost five significant family members
Mm.
within like 18 months, and two of those people being my mother and my brother, who died 51 weeks to the day from each other. He's a mama's boy, so he had to go be with his mama. But anyway, so I needed something right to fill it right. And so literally from the day my mother died on June 9th, I got something every day for 52 days straight. And I lied to you not.
Wow.
From obviously food to money to flowers
Oh,
to
wow.
at the time you were going through COVID, they were, dropping off like wipes and someone planted a tree. And
Oh
I
my
just thought how powerful that was for me, right? That
Yeah.
that people were filling in the gap for me, and not everyone has that. And so I started like ear hustling. And one of the first things that I gave was a woman who lost her son, committed a horrific crime, and then he killed himself in front of her. And I couldn't imagine as a mother, that just rested on me. I'm also an empath. So it rested on me. And I ended up sending her, she was my cousin's college roommate, and I sent her this blanket that had all these powerful words on it to remind her who she was, right? That you are not defined but by what your son did, because often as a parent you're
Right.
blamed for what your children did. And I always, when I send it now, I always send it and I forget about it, because I don't do it because I want someone to acknowledge it. I don't want to do it because I
Right.
want someone to say thank you. And I sent it to her, I think it was in April. Well, on July 5th, um, I received a note from her. And the reason why that day was significant, it was the first, my mom's first birthday without her. And she sent me a note and just told me all the things and how it felt. And that was a tough day for me.
Mm.
And I always feel like when you invest in people and it may not come back from that person, you're going to reap a harvest, right? And so
Yeah.
that day I needed to be loved on, and it was differently than family and friends,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
someone I didn't know to just acknowledge me and thank me. And so I do it for many people. If I ear hustle, I've done it to coworkers. I've friends who were federal government employees. I would just send them a Zelle. And then if I didn't know them, I would just put in parentheses how I got their name so they don't think I'm like a weirdo and throw it in the trash. And every week I just am intentional. Sometimes I just send a beautiful card and stickers. Sometimes I send, gifts. It just varies. And it just, once I put it in the mail, I feel good and I figured about it. And sometimes I hear back and sometimes I don't.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That is beautiful. And who you are. I mean, that's
Yes.
why, like, I
Right.
wanted to steal that bit because I want to be like,
Go ahead.
we appreciate you. I
No,
Yeah.
mean,
thank you.
just,
Thank you.
and it's not surprising at all,
Thank
both
you.
from honoring your mom to just how you touch people. And I'll tell you, well, I want to get into your topic,
Mhm.
but again, as we talk about who we are over age 50, I mean, this ties right into Darnice from last week,
Yeah.
when she's talking about grief and how you find your way through it. And
Mhm.
so this is a way that you're finding your way through your grief and celebrating your mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like a ninja. It will come on you and it's like a sneak attack and you have no idea that it's coming, right? And sometimes I've had to learn to just sit in it
Yeah.
because you can't avoid it. because it's going to
Right.
come back. Hmm.
Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome.
so for today's topic, I want to know, we want to know, everybody wants to know what made you choose this topic when you got the call?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going through it right now, trying to figure it out. My children have a big gap. I have a 12-year-old and a soon to be 21-year-old.
Girl.
Hmm.
So it's finding my way. I found myself after being married for 30 years, not with that person anymore. But I love love. I mean, everything I think that I do. I was not hardened or turned away from love. Actually, I love that person still in a caring, I mean, father of my children,
Yeah.
built a great life together. And so for me, it's finding what that looks like because I don't feel like I'm going to be 55 in September. Like I still feel like we're back at JMU, right? Cutting up,
I
being silly.
know,
And so
right?
Whoop,
I
whoop.
feel so young at heart, but it's still navigating. Also, having a 12-year-old, I often find
Yeah.
myself around very young moms, but
Mm,
I don't want to be what I'm not. Like I'm not
Right.
right.
trying to be a young mom, and kind of what Verta she said about reimagining,
Hmm.
because I don't have any regrets. Certainly, I have those low
Yeah.
moments where I'm like, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade any of that because I wouldn't be who I am today, which I
Exactly.
love.
Yes.
And so just trying to figure out what it is I want, right?
Yeah.
And what I don't want. That's the bigger piece. And I'm also learning that I've always been this strong, like I got it, but I'm realizing that strength is also being soft. Because when you're soft, and I would believe it's also strength because that means you're vulnerable enough to trust someone else to do it too,
Right.
right? I don't
Mhm.
always have to be the one to do it. I don't always have to be the one who has to take care of everything. And so I'm learning that I don't have to be that, to be in a relationship, and not blaming the other person, but that was my perception, right? What I thought I
Mhm.
had to be, like I had to be the one to do it all, and I don't, and I don't want to.
Right.
I would love that. No,
I'm tired.
girl,
Exhausted.
I
I don't
am
want to. I don't
exhausted.
want to. I don't want
Run
And
to.
amok.
it's some of that too, one of the things that I've learned that also this showing up and having everything, being able to handle everything in some ways is like a trauma response, but also when we think of our growing up, I
Yeah.
mean, this is not about the generational wars or anything, but we did everything on our own. Like, you know what I mean? Like we were the latchkey kids, we were taking care of younger siblings, we were doing like or all of these other things, having jobs since we were 14 years old, driving ourselves all the places. And that I'm not saying that to like one up anyone. I just think that it then shows up in how we love, how we parent, and then also this moment of kind of an opening, right? So I want to
Mhm.
know a little bit more about what were the moments that caused you to stop to learn the things you didn't want to do anymore, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? What
Yeah,
were the moments
yeah,
that made this come
yeah,
about for you?
yeah. I think one of my when children's father and I broke up, it's easy to make someone the villain, right? And
Mhm.
someone the victim. And I realized there is no victim or villain. It's just a family that has shifted. And so
Mhm.
initially the person you would have saw was probably frustrated, angry, and all the things. And then
Mm.
I grew into reflecting on the things in that relationship and owning my part because no one person is to blame,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I think also we do joint custody. And so I was used to always being on. So every other week I was not. And so I
Hmm.
had to sit in it. And so
Hmm.
someone who went from, being at home with your family to moving to college and having roommates to even having roommates after college, I had never lived alone. And so
Wow.
No
I
that
didn't
was
know
way.
that.
Me
never,
neither.
never, never. I'd never lived alone. And so
Oh.
that was hard. Like from even being in a
Hmm.
house, sleeping by yourself I mean, I might have had a night or two, but
No, no,
living
no, but
alone,
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, yeah.
And so I had to figure that out. And that was tough at first. I didn't like it. I tried to fill it up. And then I said, you know what? Lean into this time, right? Because I may not get this again. And I never want to have like regrets, right? And so I started sitting in it and a
Mhm.
lot of reflecting. I feel like God flooded my memories with things of my past and made me reflect on my part and
Mhm.
realizing like I no longer have to feel like I have to prove my value anymore.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was always trying to prove my worth, and not just in my marriage, but with my children, with
Mhm.
friends, with work. And I finally said, shoot, if you don't know me by now, what the song say? You ain't gonna never
If
know me.
you don't know, you
So,
ain't never.
so that's just kind of like, I was like, for those who, and some of my coming to this was my oldest child, who's very she's old, she's an old soul. And I remember her telling me, like, anybody who knows you doesn't, they know who you are. Like, you don't have
Yeah.
to prove anything to anyone else, and if they don't, then good riddance, right? And so it made me think about that, and I
Yeah.
realized, like, I don't have to prove these things, or just me being me is enough. I always
It's
felt like I
enough.
had to, like, I had to do something to get something in return. And so it's kind of saying how I'm saying to myself about loving the male.
Hmm.
Just do it, and, like, I don't have
Let it
to,
go.
like, be
Yeah.
thanked, and just showing up is just who I
Hmm.
am. So that's, yeah.
And these young women that we've raised, because you saying
I was gonna
that about,
say,
because I'm gonna tell you, the time my daughter has put a mirror up to me, and I'm like, oh my
Yes.
goodness, right?
Yes.
It's kind
Yes.
of this beautiful, wild experience. Because I can only
Yes.
imagine the words that come, I'm like,
Yes.
wow,
What
and
do
she's
they
telling me stuff, and
say?
I'm like, wow.
Once an adult, twice a child. She has become the mother. I'm the child now. I am the child. She is schooling me on a regular. What
but
I said, I
yeah,
told her about being on this podcast today, right? And I said, it's about me um, being 50 and trying to find my way. She said, girl, you already done found your way. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
Okay. Like,
Okay.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And that's being seen. There's nothing more beautiful
correct.
than being seen by your children, right?
Right.
For who you are.
I
Yeah.
But
know.
let me say this, and it goes along the path Berta was going to say about these children we've raised.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, what I want you to hear and our audience to hear, and Berta has heard, but we'll hear again, is that this is what you did.
Hmm.
This is what it's what you did. And so even Verta, when you're talking about like this isn't about the generational wars, it actually kind of is. It's like what we've poured into them. We
Mm-hmm.
did this on purpose, even
Mm-hmm.
if, and I do think we did it intentionally. I was about to
Hmm.
say, even if we didn't know we were doing it, we were doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you see yourself back from your child, I love that you are seeing who you are because you've allowed her to be free and
Mm-hmm.
you've allowed her to be able to be
Honest.
herself and then
Mm-hmm.
allow you to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just love
Mm-hmm.
that. I just
Mm-hmm.
love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I want to lean into the love part, which is I want to hear from you. How did love evolve or expand for you after 50? And did your definition of love change in any type of way? And this is broad, so however you want to lean into that.
Yeah, I think for me, it's back to, I always saw love as me being the servant, but I think we serve each other,
Mhm.
right? We care for each other. It doesn't have to be tit for tat, but you just lean in and love on each other, and seeing people, like, really seeing. It's like with my children, they really see me, right? And in
Good.
ways that I didn't know they did, right? And so I realized that there can be a partner out there who could see me
Mhm.
and allow me to be soft, right? And
Mhm.
realizing that's not a weakness, that's a strength.
Yeah.
And that they've made me feel vulnerable enough to let my guard down, to
Yeah.
not feel like I always have to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
To just be me, like, naked physically and and what is it? Physically, and was it meta?
Physically. Yeah.
Physically,
Yeah, thank you.
metaphysically? Okay.
Yes. Where I don't, like, you know what I mean? Where I can be naked, where I can say what I want, and a level of intimacy. And
There's
that's
like
not
no
just sexual.
judgment.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
intimacy, because sometimes in relationships, you can let your guard down and then you regret it, right? And then
Mm.
you pick it back up and you're like, I'm going to keep that armor
Hmm.
on. But
Hmm.
it's being completely feeling safe. And
Yeah.
I think it exists, right? And
Yeah.
I've seen it,
Yes.
and I've and I that's what I'm holding on and craving for, because I think it does exist, right? And so I love to hear positive relationship about
I do
relationships. I
too.
don't want to hear about everyone
Right.
breaking up and
I mean,
child
and
and
that's,
Yeah,
but
I
that's some
do
of it is
too.
that we don't talk about the positive. A lot of times when people are sharing,
it's
they're
all
sharing the
bad.
negative. And then
Yeah.
if you're even in a positive place, I felt this way where I'm just like, let me just not talk because
Um,
I don't want it to be like, oh, you're feeling terrible. Let me tell you how
yeah.
amazing my love is, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
But
But
I
I
not
think
that.
it's
we,
even,
we
oh, go
should,
ahead.
if they're really your friend now, like for
Yeah,
me, I want to hear it, because that gives me
yeah,
hope, right? That it
exactly.
exists, or that you've had longevity, right?
Mhm.
It took me a minute. I was holding on to the 30 years, right? That's no, like,
That's not
nothing
a small
to,
amount of time.
no, it's not.
It's a whole
And so it
lifetime.
saddened me in some ways. And I even had to be okay and embrace the happy memories. Like I used to feel like I had to just be like it was all bad, but it wasn't,
It
right? If
wasn't.
nothing else, we had these two amazing
Exactly.
humans and we had moments that were great. And that was, those were those moments in time, right? And I can find that again, but I want to hear about it. Like when I hear and see that people are still going, or recently I had lunch with a friend and she told me she and her husband completely had a breakdown. Like they almost had to break their marriage and reset it. And it
Mm-hmm.
was, and because they both brought in traumas that
Mm-hmm.
they never talked about,
Healed
right?
or
They
Right.
never
mhm.
shared. And I actually saw her about 2 weeks ago. She had told me this about 6 months ago, and they are doing, she's like, we've never been better. And it
Right.
just, I was so happy to hear that, because they fought to get there. And not everybody, you can't fight by yourself, right? And
Right.
that's fighting even to save your marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the positive thing too is about this hope and this possibility, right? Because I think
Mhm.
that that's also this part of this conversation is that there's possibility. That's what I have somebody tell me
Absolutely.
that I was like the most optimistic divorced person they'd ever met because like I was just like it's possible. Like there's
It
something
is.
out there and we really need the
Wait, you're the
opportunity
most
to
what? Say it again. The most.
optimistic divorced person they've ever met.
Mm. Right?
Say that again, Marquita.
About love. About love.
Yeah, because
Yeah, yeah,
I agree with you. Everything you said, like I just think that it's still possible to have those things and to be able to be vulnerable in front of someone. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Did you have a question?
Absolutely.
Now I see you scribbling.
Well, no, I mean, I was scribbling so many things. I mean, I was scribbling because, first of all, low key, I was hoping when you started talking about being a servant and have somebody, and you went a different direction, which was very cute and nice. But I was like, I was hoping you'd say having somebody serve me. That's what I was like. Oh, and then you were like, have us do it together, and I was like, that's better, I guess. I guess.
Yeah.
Um, well, what what I think are a couple of questions, but I'll start with are there things that you started asking for? I think you've talked a little bit about, from yourself,
Mm-hmm.
from your friends,
Mm-hmm.
from your
Mm-hmm.
family that
Mm-hmm.
maybe you weren't asking for before, you weren't expecting before, you were serving, and therefore
Mm-hmm.
you weren't allowing yourself in some ways to be served.
Yeah. One, self-care, right? Caring
Mm,
for myself, right? First and foremost, being able to tell my children I need a minute, right? Like I've been on all day, releasing them so they wouldn't think I was upset or angry with them because I was quiet or because
mhm.
I was alone, and teaching, because I knew I was teaching them too, that alone time, resting, restoring yourself is good. And
Yeah.
so really being intentional about caring for myself in a way that I had never done before, because remember, I'm every other week is just me. So, and
Mhm.
self-care looks different for everybody. Like
Yeah.
you guys coming and having lunch with me, or like when Verta
Mhm.
came and spent, that's self-care, right?
Mhm.
Or going to dinner, going for a long walk. And I'm learning to enjoy being by myself. And
Yeah.
that was the biggest piece that I've learned in this journey now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And my children now, I feel like they are comfortable with, like Harper will say, do we have to do anything this weekend? Because she does competitive dance. And so her weeks are pretty intense. And so if
Yeah.
she says, can we stay in Friday through Sunday? Absolutely. Right. And
Right.
so I don't know that we would have done that otherwise, like this change, right? To always being on, to
Mhm.
find like comfort and resting, and to asking for help, right? I don't know that I always did that. So I do ask for help. I am vulnerable about where I am or when there's moments that I feel sad or lonely, right? Or recently I had a health scare and it made me think about like, who's going to take care of me, right? What would happen? My
Mm,
children are too young, but then I'm reminded that I have this monster village, right?
Exactly.
That show up for me, right? And care
True.
for me. And so though I may not have it in traditional, meaning my mom or my father or brother or spouse, God still gives you what you need, right? I still have what I need when I need it and when I need folks to show up for me. And so asking for help has been something that I've really had to start doing.
And your monster village, as you say it, is such a reflection of you. Like that is just, you are so much light. Um, and we'll send little memes every once in a while, but the last one was about how like it doesn't matter when I'm with you. It's like we've been together every single day until that moment. And I would imagine that it's like that with a lot of people that you've put into your village. But also I see so much of this even in your home, right? And so I'm surprised to learn that you had never lived alone because the way you decorated that house, like, and it is like, it's beautiful, right? And it's so you. And it's just your space also reflects and exudes this light. So you are just you're just a light.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
Thank
really
you.
are.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna ask one
I
last
was going to say,
question. Sorry,
well, no, we'll come
can I?
back.
Okay.
We just need to go on a break.
Okay.
And just like, you can ask three more questions when we return. So we'll be back on the other side.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are joined with Mark.
You're frozen. You froze. So start
Good
with
thing
your
I didn't
welcome
say
back, welcome
much.
back. You
Good
It's
thing
didn't.
I didn't
it's
say
it's
much.
always great when it happens in the first
I
second.
know,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't have to remember what I said because I didn't say anything.
Listen. And if you
Yeah.
forgot welcome
I
back at
know
the
that it's a
third.
problem.
I'm
We got
sorry.
other things to discuss. So we got other things to discuss. Okay. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is That Part by 45 Lemons, and you can find us at all the places that you listen to podcasts. We are joined by our brilliant person and friend, Marquita. And I have a question, which is a big question that I always ask everyone, based on their topic. But what is it that you think that Black women understand about finding love and finding themselves after 50 or reimagining themselves that the world hasn't caught up to yet?
Hmm, that's a tough question,
I
Verta.
know, I
I
Yeah.
know.
think it is. I think when you talked about kind of how we grew up, I think a lot of us have these stereotype of marriages, of gender roles. One and Na doesn't even know how this impacted me, but I remember early on when she first got married and had children, and she was a stay-at-home mom, right? But one of the things that she said to me is that she established space for her so that when her husband got home, that was her time. And so many women who are stay-at-home moms, they feel like they're always on, but that was Na's job, is to be at home with the kids when they were small, and she too needed her time for herself. And that to me, I mean, she doesn't even know I talked about her behind her back
You
about that.
didn't.
But I think for people don't, I think Black women sometimes don't realize that we don't have to be what they say we are, right? We can be soft, we can be all the things that's opposite to what people see on
Mhm.
TV, right? Like we could decide, as I think now, or you mentioned in the beginning, like if you want to change the roles where you don't get married again or you don't have a traditional marriage. I met a woman who said she will find love again, but she wants them both to have their own primary residence.
Right. Yeah.
Amen to
Okay.
Yeah.
that.
I've heard that a lot
Okay.
lately.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
saying that when I was, people looking at me crazy when I said that when
No.
I was 14 and 22, but hey,
Yes.
everybody's
Yes.
catching up now.
Yes. And so I think that people think they know who we are, but we're all the things, right? We're not one thing. And I think
Yeah.
that's the issue. Like I meet Black women all the time who have interests. And even for me, I'm like, you're Black, but we're not in a box, right?
Right.
We can be all
Right.
those things. It used to be this is what white people do, or this is but we do all the things, right?
We
We
do.
do all the things. So I think that's I hope I answered your question, but we're not in a box.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
No, no.
Well, before you leave us, is there a last thought?
Yeah.
And there might not be, so it's okay if there isn't. But
Yes.
is there something that you would like to say that you didn't get to say, and we can always bring you back? So,
Yeah. You know, I will say that I have no regrets. You know what I mean? As I mentioned earlier, where you feel like you want to regret, like I wish I had done this, but it wouldn't have brought me to this moment. And I think for the first time in my life, I've just embraced everything about me, from my faults to my strengths to my little pooch stomach that I didn't have, or not being what other people think I should be, right? I am so comfortable with myself. And if I can give that to my girls to get there sooner than
Yeah.
50, right, then I got
exactly.
there,
Yeah.
then I've done
Yeah.
my job. I think I'm
Yeah.
trying to have conversations with them that our mothers didn't have with them. And
Mhm.
so we're doing things different. As you said, now we are being intentional because we're trying to change the next generation. And so I'm so excited about what their children look like, because we're starting something different that wasn't done before. And that's not a diss on them. It's
No,
just
no, no,
we're
no.
What
changing.
It's,
Yeah,
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 yeah.
we
yeah.
gonna be
So
some cute grannies out here with them grandkids.
I gotta come up with my
Amen. I
good
can't
name.
wait.
Actually, I don't even care if they call me Granny, because I want people to be like, "Child, it ain't your grandma." Yes, I am. I
I
want the
love it.
name Granny. I
Yes,
want to
I.
be called
I
Granny.
do. I'm
I
like,
do.
grandma, grandma.
Yes.
People are always like, what? And I'm like, no, I want to
Coming
be
up with
called.
Gigi's and
But no,
Tiki's.
don't
No,
give
I'm
me no
Granny.
GG.
And I want to be called Granny. That's
Grandma, as we say, God, grandma.
Grandma.
yes,
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 that's it.
Granny.
yes, yes,
I love
yes,
it.
yes.
Marquita, thank you so much. I don't know if there's places that you, for your businesses or anything. Do you have websites? Do you have Instagram that people can go and like, be engaged with your world?
I don't, Vern. I need to get better at that. I'm gonna just call it out. Get better at that.
Like, this is when you gotta dial the Gen Zers. Dial
Yes.
that. You're like,
Trying
talk
to
to
get
the kids.
Harper.
Hook
Harper
me
did
up.
my
Okay.
makeup 2 weeks ago, so I'm gonna get
I
her here to get me.
saw that
She's
Okay.
on
amazing.
Insta.
Yes,
I saw it on Facebook or somewhere,
yes, yes,
old
All
yes.
people
right.
go to.
Well,
But
then we
I'm
just
on
have
it
to
now.
keep,
I'm on it.
they know how to find us and we know how to
Yes,
find you. Thank you so
Right.
absolutely.
much,
Do
Marquita.
that.
You're
I love
welcome.
you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Oh,
That
my
was
favorite
fantastic.
people in the world. What are
I
we
know.
talking about? I
That was
now was like,
fantastic.
it don't matter what questions we have for her. She's gonna be amazing
And funny. I
and
said and
funny
funny.
as we were preparing for it. And I was like,
And
she's
funny.
gonna be amazing and funny. Um, I don't know. I took a couple of notes, but um, I think the biggest thing is from Marquita, I always feel so much of like what you put out into the world is gonna be brought back to you and magnified, and you just don't even realize it, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's even um being hopeful, being, seeing that there's possibility, like all those things kind of come back. And she just, every time I'm around her, I feel that. Um,
It's
yeah.
brightness and light. And I
Yeah.
think we've all the three of us have known
Mhm.
each other for 35 years. I mean, I give or to, I don't know, my
Yeah.
math
I
is
don't know.
off maybe,
Don't
but
ask
it's
me.
something like that.
Yeah.
And so to see each other, who we were back then
Yeah.
and who we still are today, but
Hmm.
all the richness in between. So I
Yeah.
think like as she was talking about, I was thinking about that. I mean,
Yeah.
she's always been fabulous. Like, I mean, I do love that word, but she's always been fabulous, but she's always been sweet. She's always
Mhm.
been
Yeah.
strong. And I don't think she even realizes, but she's always been soft. Like I do feel like Marquita has always been vulnerable.
Mhm.
And maybe she doesn't fully see that. And I think to our
Yeah.
audience, I hope what people got out of that was that the we can stop trying to be whatever somebody else thinks that we should be.
Hmm.
And that's all of us. I mean,
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form, no matter how strong you are, I'll put that in air quotes. The people who are just listening won't see that, but no matter how strong you were, no matter how, or that you think you are, and it's okay to keep reimagining.
I do exactly. And like just to keep becoming, and this like being unfinished is kind of like what we're here to be, like, right? Like
Yeah.
it's this whole journey. And I think The other thing is not treating aging like a decline, right? Because for so many women, it's actually clarity that comes from it, right? And I did this interview with a yoga teacher a couple years ago in a magazine, and we talked about that. And she talked about like menopause and stuff as like power rising in you, that sometimes we shun the hot flashes, but she's like, I
Yeah,
feel like some of that is like this fire that is brewing and growing in us in this
right.
positive way as women. And it was just such an interesting take on it. And so I really feel like um that clarity that comes from it.
Yeah.
um yeah. And
I
the
mean, are there what do you think for you and your reimagining? I
girl,
kind of want to hear because you're reimagining love right now. And yeah, what's happening for you?
lots of things are happening for me. I'm writing about it. If you want to check it out on Substack, little drops here and there of it. I've been writing about it for some time. I think the two things that I will say is that I do genuinely still believe that I will find a partner that I can be all the things that Marquita talked about, right? Like physically and metaphysically naked in front of, and that just
Yeah.
gets me. Um, and I feel like where I am now, there's so much that I've learned about myself that I'm more able to even do that probably than I was in my marriage, right? Like if
Hmm.
I'm going to be really honest. So there's that part to it. And then there's the whole fact that, I was married and I got divorced in my 30s, and so entered this world of online dating, which is like, whoo,
Yeah.
child, we can't, because we got
I can't wait for
landlines,
that
we ain't
book.
had no
Okay.
internet, we ain't had
I
none of that. So let
I can't wait
alone
for that book because I know the
so
stories.
you do know the stories. So let alone what it's like to do online dating. So that's been kind of this interesting journey for me. It's part of the process. It's not the entire process. And then there is, like you said, the reimagining. I've been able to like retap into like my writing or the creative things I want, even building our business and like growing it, is part of that for me. And even thinking about, I spoke on lots of stages and did all of these things. I've done panels, and I kind of just like stopped for a minute to say, like, when I am back on a stage or when I am back on a panel, what do I want to be talking about
Yeah.
now that is
Yeah.
different than the things that I've talked about before? So those are some of the things happening for me. We can probably do a whole episode where we go back and forth around those things.
We will.
We will. Oh, we will. I don't know where we are on time, so you got to like catch me up because I do have a little bit of vitamin C for the
We
people.
have 3 minutes left.
Oh, it's perfect
It's
timing. And the
perfect
internal
timing,
clock is
isn't it?
clocking. It is clocking it. But this is there's a website called blackwomenamplified.com, and they kind of did these steps of kind of writing your story, rewriting your story, reinventing. And I think a lot of it connects to what we talked about. So I'm just going to give the titles, and there's like more underneath each of them. But step one is acknowledging the past, right? Like
Okay.
I think like
Yeah.
all of that. And like even when Marquita said no regrets, like all of those things. She even said like sitting by herself, it's like, what role did I play in
Right.
all of this, right? Shifting the narrative. She talked about that, the whole thing about like a villain or a victim or anything like that. Like, how do
Yeah.
you shift the
Yeah.
narrative? Owning the story, right? I think it's like this collection of things. And even when you said that, Marquita, to have always been vulnerable, I would say that too. And perhaps that's who she was able to be with us as her friends. But what does that mean for personal? What does that mean for her, like romantic relationships? What does that mean at
Right.
work? How does that
Right.
show up? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, like
Yeah.
owning your story. And then the last is sharing your story, which is so much about why we wanted to do this with our people,
Yes.
what we are learning in this process, right?
Yeah.
What it is to share who we are as 45 Lemons, but like each of us individually, and giving people an opportunity to share their stories. And all of those things, those steps just felt so resonant about what I knew would come out of a conversation with Marquita, but also
Yeah.
kind of like where we are. So it's blackwomenamplified.com. Go check it out.
Well, I love the story arc. I mean, in 45 Lemons, we do racial biographies, which was really, I know it comes from, we'll have to cite all the sightings.
Mhm.
You know, we'll do that when we write back, but you do an amazing job. Like you really started racial biographies with 45 Lemons, and then we've taken it to other places and
Mhm.
more to come. But the idea of being able to write your story so that you hear yourself
Yeah,
back and can
exactly.
read it back and have other people do it, I think is important. So, a little note to our listeners out there:
Write your story.
write your story. Write
Yeah.
your story. And even if it's painful in parts or even in whole, even if it takes you more than, hours, days, weeks, months, don't take a year. But
Under 12 months.
under 12 months, write your story.
Yeah,
And so that is it for our time today. And we will see you next time on
that
that
part.
part. Mark.